To everyone watching in today, you could be asking, why do we have such medical or healthcare topics on a sports channel? It is simply because endometriosis does not discriminate. You could be a football player, you could be a coach, you could be a spectator, a fan, an administrator, a male, but your wife, your sister, your daughter is going through this and you don't know.
Every tribe and every voice. This journey, the legends return. Football is more than a game. It is a heartbeat that unites millions across every age, every tribe, and every voice. This June, the Legends Return, the Local Football Appreciation Awards, 2nd edition, Uganda's grandest night celebrating players, coaches, referees, fans, and communities that make football our pride. Join us in Kampala. Voting starts on 1st May and support these awards by buying an LFA ribbon at just 10,000 Ugandan shillings. Tickets and info call 0702 187 020 or 0775 940 084 or send us an email localfootballappreciationawards@gmail.com. The LFA Awards, where legends are born and heroes are crowned. Every age, every tribe, and every voice. This June, the Legends Return, the Local Football Appreciation Awards, 2nd edition, Uganda's grandest night celebrating players, coaches, referees, fans, and communities that make football our pride.
Good morning. Welcome to another episode of LFA Podcast. And we are joined in today by one of our proud sponsors. That is the CEO of Endometriosis Foundation Uganda, and we are going to be discussing about endometriosis and how this is a problem to women in general and those in sport, but also how the LFA Awards can be used as a powerful tool to create awareness about this dangerous female problem to the men in sport, but also to the women in sport. We can use sports in so many tools, and one of the ways is actually using it as a tool to carry on awareness of certain illnesses or healthcare challenges that affect women, because men are normally the culprits that carry out this stigma or stigmatization on women, or sometimes when women are misunderstood, it is men normally that suffer the consequences. So it is very important that we use these awards actually to carry out awareness on some of these medical conditions. And we are so proud to have the CEO, Nagawa Grace, who is going to have a discussion with us about endometriosis. And we are so happy and glad that you're watching in with us today to make sure you understand this, but also to carry on this information to everyone, and also to be able to help all the women that could be suffering from this strange, rare healthcare condition. Yes, Grace, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
And good morning once again.
Good afternoon, Richard. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start here. Endometriosis Foundation is one of the sponsors of LFA Awards 2025-2026. We thank you so much for partnering with us to make sure we make these awards a success. But before we go into that, can you help the football world that is watching in, both men and women, understand what the term endometriosis means and why people should be aware of it?
Yeah. So to our viewers, thank you so much, the football organizers, for this opportunity. And we are glad to be part of this in supporting our brothers, the outstanding teams, and all that are, going to be celebrated this year. So, yes, I'm a nurse. Endometriosis is a chronic disease where the inner lining of the uterus abnormally grows outside the uterus. So, in simple terms, those young girls in schools that have chronic period pain, once the pain goes beyond normal, this person would have endometriosis and they don't know. So that inner lining of the uterus abnormally growing outside the uterus is what we call endometriosis. There are women out there bleeding through their navel, through the umbilical cord. There are those bleeding through their lungs, through the brain, and there are cases where someone bleeds in their thigh and anywhere. So wherever that tissue is, you find that this woman bleeds wherever they are in their periods. Yes, along the way, it has stages 1, 2, 3, and 4, whereby the more this person grows, the more the intensity of the pain occurs, and the other side effects that will move along, and infertility being one of the key effects once this condition advances. Thank you so much.
Grace, how big is this challenge in Uganda and Africa at large?
Yeah. So globally, we have a statistic that 1 in 10 women have the disease globally. And in Uganda, Australia, when you look at Australia, it's now 1 in 7. And according to the outreaches we are performing in Uganda as Endometriosis Foundation Uganda, the outreaches in schools, community hospitals, it's an estimate of 1 in 7. Currently, we are looking at that because many girls are calling up. Wherever we are out there on media, women call up looking for support. Like they have moved in hospitals and all that, they are never recognized, never diagnosed. And to reach to our places here, you realize that someone has endometriosis and they had never known that they have been battling that chronic pain, that disease. Yeah.
Wow, that is strange. Let's talk about Endometriosis Foundation Uganda. What inspired you to start this foundation in Uganda, and what has been the progress so far?
Yeah. We found Endometriosis Foundation Uganda based on my journey with a disease. Way back, since 14 years of age, I grew up in pain, chronic period pain, and I would bleed for 3 weeks. So that continued. It was the same pattern until I clocked 27 years. So along the way, I had pregnancy symptoms, chronic pain, the pain that persevered, like it was progressive until I used to have daily pain. I used to bleed throughout the month and only have like 5 days that I'm not in my periods. So life was really a miserable life, me growing up. But all in vain, that moving in hospitals and I was never diagnosed, treating PID and being given prescribed antibiotics. So that prompted me to go into for nursing, but I was still never taught about this problem. So until I clocked 27 years, I just lost conscious and to realize I was bleeding. So endometriosis had advanced to stage 4. So surgery was done and the guy performed a surgery thinking it was cysts. There were cysts. To realize it was already endometriosis, stage 4. All my ovaries were eaten up, the abdominal wall, the peritoneum was full of the endo tissue, the intestines and all that. So the only option in Uganda was to remove my uterus. But luckily enough, with the grace of God, my brother tried to research in Nairobi and we had a specialist who flew from India to perform my surgery. So it took us over 30 million. My life was a miserable life growing up, like I said. Yes, moving to the main referral hospital in Mulago, I was told I would die with this pain, but my uterus was saved in Nairobi. I was informed and trained and educated about this condition and how we can live a better life with diet, lifestyle, and exercise. It's an incurable disease, but we can learn how to live with it and manage the pain without using painkillers. So after having seen all that and going through all that, I realized many health workers are unaware of this problem. Many young girls coming to hospital and no one can detect they have endo. So that is how we came up with Endometriosis Foundation Uganda to sensitize the public and health professionals about this disease.
Grace, to some of the women in football and some of these soccer players and fans watching in today who have daughters, who have wives, who have sisters, would love to know what are some of the symptoms that people should look out for endometriosis.
Yeah. So the first key symptoms is the chronic period pain, what some people call the cramps. So these cramps shouldn't be normal. And I think we should just, once you realize someone is talking about cramps, this person could have endometriosis and they don't know. So usually for a normal woman, for a girl, this period pain it shouldn't be pain that persists. Like every month, someone has to go through that pain. So once you realize your pain needs a painkiller, your pain prevents you from going to school or performing your daily work, that could be endometriosis. So for these cramps that the minor pain that someone can just move along with it, and this is pain that doesn't happen every month. So once you realize your daughter or you're a woman out there and you're going through period pain that requires a painkiller and it's chronic, it's from 3 months, 4 months, every month you're having this repeated pain, that a key sign that you could have endometriosis. Then we have irregular periods. These women, most of them don't have regular periods. Like once someone knows my cycle is 28 or 30 days. So for these people, sometimes they bleed twice in a month. Others, skip months. And then the heavy periods. We have endometriosis where this inner lining grows outside, and adenomyosis where this inner lining, the endometrium, instead of moving outside, it moves in the middle of your uterus. So that is adenomyosis. We have the same pains, but with adenomyosis, it will eat up your inner lining of middle layer of the uterus. So with these people also, we have heavy flow of blood. So for those girls, young girls in school, parents, if you see your child tells you requires more packets of pads while she goes to school, that is another indicator that this person could have endometriosis. We have chronic backache, chronic constipation. And then for those people, I think, Richard, it's high time we inform our public. If you have been moving to the hospital or clinic and they are treating chronic UTIs, that is also another indicator that you could have endometriosis, and medics are just treating your chronic UTI, because many of our ladies come to us and once they explain the symptoms, they will tell you, I've been on antibiotics for years, they're treating me for UTI, and to realize it's endometriosis. So
Grace,
infertility is also another thing that comes in. Once you realize, okay, you've not been detected early and you're trying to look for a child, you're failing. So that is an indicator that you could have endometriosis that was never diagnosed.
Grace, you're talking about signs and symptoms. What could be the importance or relevance of early diagnosis of endometriosis?
Yeah. So the earlier someone is detected, one is you prevent this tissue from overspreading by getting to know what you're supposed to do. We've said this is an incurable disease, but we learn how to live with it like any other chronic problem, hypertension, diabetes. Once you know how to manage early, you learn how to eat, the exercise and all that, you keep it dormant. You prevent it from, overspreading and affecting other organs. And of course, from there, you're monitored. Yes, we have transvaginal scans that are done. You're monitored to prevent this thing from overspreading. And we say that pregnancy is not a cure for this problem, but we say the earlier you try, it's not a cure, but the earlier. For those, you realize that we are over 300 ladies plus on the group, and only almost 20% of our ladies have children. And those were those that tried it early. So once you're detected late, all your ovaries are affected. You find that your fertility is really, so the earlier you detect, the earlier you plan for anything.
To everyone watching in today, you could be asking, why do we have such medical or healthcare topics on a sports channel? It is simply because endometriosis does not discriminate. You could be a football player, you could be a coach, you could be a spectator, a fan, an administrator, a male, but your wife, your sister, your daughter is going through this and you don't know. Many people are experiencing this, but they keep thinking this is normal pain or these are normal cramps. No, that pain is not normal. You could be having endometriosis and you need help. Grace is a living example, and she's leading a foundation that is helping young girls understand, women understand, but also creating awareness for men to understand that actually your woman is not bewitched, your woman did not commit abortion, your woman did not do anything, but she has endometriosis. Some of these things, some of the endometriosis one is born with, another on secondary. It can happen because of a surgery where that tissue that is one is supposed to bleed every month moves from the place where it's supposed to be into an ectopic place or into another place. Yes, Grace, let's talk about partnership with LFA. Why did you, Endometriosis Foundation Uganda, choose to partner with local football appreciation this year when they are celebrating the prominent people that have contributed to the beautiful game of football in Uganda?
Yeah. So thank you for that question. As a lady, I believe way back, that was in O level, I used
Mm,
to be a good athletic.
mm,
Like I used to win certificates. But
mm,
along the way, I realized I was growing with chronic pain that I couldn't understand.
mm,
And this affected my lifestyle, affected my studies, and I couldn't perform well in the games that I used to, the way I used to make it. I used to admire these athletes, in Zipuru and all that. And I was like, one day, because I used to win certificates, but the more I grew, this pain wouldn't allow me proceed with all that. Until now that I can't even run. And that is what happens with us with endo. It really compromises the quality of your life. So today we choose to partner or to be part of this in supporting our brothers because we believe the football platform, sports platform, is a big platform that can help us to raise awareness. We can work together and support each other. As we celebrate your excellency on the field, our dear team players, we kindly request you to stand with us for the millions of women out there that are unable to express their gifts on the field, but battling endometriosis each single day with resiliently and sometimes not knowing how it would end. But many
mm,
of them are unaware of this condition. As an organization, we've tried what we can, but we believe when we tap into such bigger platforms, this is a chance that our brothers will stand with us, help us in raising awareness
mm.
and break the silence around endometriosis and the stigma that these women are going through.
Uh,
We are tapping into a platform of men and
mm.
women. You're
Oh,
the, fathers for tomorrow.
yes. Mm,
It could be maybe your child or relative or girlfriend or wife
mm,
that is going through this. I mean, we shouldn't be left behind. These ladies shouldn't be neglected. Once we
mm.
all get to know, they will be embraced as women that never did anything. Someone would ask what causes this. It has no known cause up to date, but hereditary, this problem is one of the real cause.
Um,
So, yeah.
Grace, how do you think LFA Awards can help to create or to amplify awareness about endometriosis?
So, because as we try to raise awareness, we really can't reach out to all the different parts of the country. So, if we work with LFA, I believe you can join us. We do empower advocates. We can have strong advocates from that team to push this in other countries, in other districts. Yes, we have the Pan African Holistic Endometriosis Wellness Organization that we've come up with, supporting our sisters in Africa because they have been calling and flying in for support. But in Uganda, sometimes we can't reach to those distant districts. If we have advocates that are stronger enough, even more strong than we are, they can help us spread this word. Sometimes the funds are not enough to reach out to our sisters wherever they are. Joining us in this will really support. We have a course that we are developing and it will soon be ready to sensitize, to train the fellow nurses wherever they are. But of course, this is something that will need your support so that we try to push this cause to all health workers wherever they are, advocates and the public going to know, and doctors, medics getting to know about this. So we need your hand. We can't do it alone. Yeah.
Yes, Grace, what is your last message to, number one, all the football fans that are going to attend the LFA? We anticipate to have about 700 people coming to attend the LFA Awards and the LFA dinner. And I'm glad that you're going to be part of that. And even on that day, we are going to give you a platform to speak to these men and women about this dangerous healthcare condition. But what is your message to people that are watching this podcast today about endometriosis and the women that could be suffering in silence? What are your last remarks?
Yeah, so my last remarks to the sports community, we believe you're a big platform that can push awareness, that can create change and unity. So we request that as we celebrate your excellence on the field, let's not forget there are countless of women who are unable to express their gifts, who are unable to present themselves on the field because of the chronic pain of endometriosis. Let's stand together to support women battling endometriosis, raise awareness, break the silence around this disease, and support all the ladies battling this disease. When we join together, I believe we shall reach out to 2.8 million women in Uganda battling this disease, of which many of them are unaware. We need your hand. And as we join together and celebrate you, kindly let it not stop here. We request you to join us in supporting our sisters battling endometriosis. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grace. And to everyone watching in today, I want to remind you that we can use football as a vehicle to create difference, to create awareness, to create a society where everyone is acceptable irrespective of the healthcare challenges they are going through. That's why this year's awards, we are partnering with great foundations like Endometriosis Foundation in Uganda, AHF Uganda cares, the largest HIV organization, because we believe that if we empower the men, then the men can support or can lead in creating awarenesses in their homes and families. Men are leaders in Africa generally. Men lead these homes. If men lead the mantle in creating a safe environment for women going through or suffering from endometriosis, then stigma is going to be stopped. But also men are the one that normally chase out these women when they're diagnosed with these healthcare conditions. So me and you have an objective or have something to do to make sure we create an environment that is safe for everyone, especially girls and women suffering from endometriosis. Again, Grace, I want to welcome you to LFA Awards come the 5th of June 2025. where we shall give you again platform to speak to these men to make sure that we reach the intended target. And to everyone reaching in, if you would love to support Endometriosis Foundation Uganda, please reach out to Grace. Grace, could you read us your number or your contact information for the foundation for people that are watching in and would love to either inquire, ask, or even support or stand with Endometriosis Foundation Uganda?
So you can reach out to us on 0787 714612 or 0703 38 15 75. Or you can also check us on, reach out to us on our socials, Endometriosis Foundation Uganda, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, we are available. So we have our Pan-African Holistic Endometriosis Wellness Center that is based in Garuga, Entebbe, aimed at supporting all women battling endometriosis across Africa. You can reach out to that wellness center. We shall welcome you and get to know more about what we do in support for these ladies.
Lastly, Grace, which team do you support in Uganda in football?
I wouldn't say I support this team, but I just have, the love for our footballer. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That is enough. Thank you so much. As we wrap up this discussion, we really want to thank the CEO of Endometriosis Foundation Uganda for joining us today and sharing such important information. To all our viewers, health is wealth. Let's continue to support initiatives that save lives while we celebrate football. Join us as the LFA Awards dinner 2026 as we honor legends and promote impactful causes like endometriosis awareness in Uganda. This has been the LFA podcast that meets purpose, that makes where football meets purpose, where we use football to create awareness and where we use football as a vehicle to create a safe society. Until next time, I remain your host. Thank you so much and have a blessed day. See you at the LFA Awards 2026. Bye.
In Uganda, football is more than a game. It is a heartbeat that unites millions across every age, every tribe, and every voice. This June, the Legends return, the Local Football Appreciation Awards, 2nd edition, Uganda's grandest night celebrating players, coaches, referees, fans, and communities that make football our pride. Join us in Kampala. Voting starts on 1st May and support these awards by buying an LFA ribbon at just 10,000 Ugandan shillings. Tickets and info call 0702 187 020 or 0775 940 084 or send us an email localfootballappreciationawards@gmail.com. The LFA Awards, where legends are born and heroes are crowned.